स्पोर्ट्स से जुड़ी किसी भी छोटी या बड़ी अपडेट के लिए सब्सक्राइब करें स्पोर्ट्स तक और साथ ही किसी भी नोटिफिकेशन को पाने के लिए बेल आइकन को दबाना ना भूलें।
Stephen, any fitness update on Dhoni and Bravo?
Both will be training tonight, so we'll just see how they scrub up at the end of training.
It's difficult to win game without MSD.
Yeah, it is. He's a great player, so whenever a great player isn't in your side, it means there's a hole to fill, and he's been in great form, so it does have an impact on your side, and as well as the captaincy, you get used to a certain style of play, and when you lose arguably your best player and your captain, you have to make adjustments, but it doesn't mean that we're not competitive. We still turned out a very good side in the last game and got well beaten, so it doesn't matter what team we turn out tomorrow, we just have to compete and be better than we were last game.
Hello Stephen, so thoughts on your position considering they started on a very poor note, RCB started on a very poor note, and they seem to be playing better cricket, so winning 2 of the last 2 games, your thoughts on your...
Yeah, there's a very fine line between where you sit on the table in this competition, and I've always said doesn't matter where the teams are on the table. Each game has its own set of challenges, and when you're playing a team that's got Kohli, De Villiers, Stoinis, Stein, etc., Moeen Ali, you're always in for a tough fight. So playing Bangalore is one of the tough challenges of the IPL, and we've always had good battles here. There's obviously some neighbourhood rivalry as well, so it makes it a great occasion, but we're under no illusions how tough tomorrow will be, whether Bangalore were in form or not. The games can change. Momentum is thrown around too quickly or too much in this competition because from one day to the next, teams can be difficult or have a bad day, so we've just got to try and create some pressure on their key players and for us to be better than we were last game. We went away from what we'd done well, and we got taught a lesson, so it was timely, and hopefully we respond well.
Stephen, Imran Tahir's been your best spinner this year. In fact, he's been the best in the league.
Yes.
And in particular in the middle overs, what do you think he's done different, say, compared to last year? What's worked for him this time?
I think if anything, he's been a little bit more conservative with his options. At times, he's been guilty of hunting wickets, which means he bowls a different style. But this year, he's been very consistent and he's been very clear around what he wants to do plan-wise. And he has been our chief wicket taker, so we want him to still be very positive. But the way in which he's done it within the camp pleases us a lot. So his discipline and ability to deliver what we want has been outstanding.
Stephen, have you had a look at the pitch and what sort of surface are you expecting tomorrow?
Just had a quick look there. It's obviously overcast and a little bit damp around, so you need to wait 24 hours. It's going to change a lot in nature, but I think it'll be a good track and possibly a high scoring game, which is what we expect. So pressure on bowlers, but also batters as well. But we must read it tomorrow and make our assessment tomorrow quickly and be clear about how we want to play. You can't assume it's going to be 200 plays 200 because you make mistakes. So it'll be very much when we turn up tomorrow, then once the first ball's bowled, we'll click into gear.
CSK has been probably the most consistent team across IPL. So how much has the fact that you've had a consistent playing group as well as a consistent support group played a part in that?
Well, we value it really highly. So experience and continuity are 2 key words that come through for us. We like to give players an extended run because we think the way form is measured in T20 is a lot different to other forms. So a lot of analysis is done with the longer form in mind, whereas we tend to look at the short form quite separately. And we tend to give guys more chances because we're asking them to play a higher risk type of game. So it's unfair to look at form after 2 or 3 innings. So that's why we tend to stay conservative, especially batting-wise. And we also accept that it's very difficult bowling-wise at times on some of these grounds. So we cut the players probably a little bit more slack. So that's why our selection policy is a lot more conservative than others. But what we do try and do is get the right team for whatever condition we face. And that's a challenge when you're away. We're a little bit more settled at home, which is how it should be. But when we travel away, we just have to work hard on making sure we get the right balance between in particular seam bowlers and spin. Spin is a key weapon for us, but we have got seam bowlers that can do the job. So that's in a simplistic form the way we look at selecting sides and our squad. So pretty conservative with a big emphasis on cohesion.